Hey, I'm Heather. I'm a sexuality empowerment coach, and this week's video is a question that was sent in that I'm going to take a moment to answer. I know originally I said that Q&As were for Adult Sex Ed Month, which happened back in June, but the truth is I like answering your questions. So one video a month, I'm going to take some time to answer questions that you guys send in. So if you want to send them in, you can leave them in the comments below. You can email me, heather@AuthenticSexualYou.com, or there's a Google form, which I'll put in the description below so you can ask anonymously. So this week's question, or this month's question, is what's a good way to meet people? That's kind of an easy and complicated question. It's easy because the good way to meet people is to go out and interact with people. So you have to leave your house, walk up to some people and engage with them, which sounds more complicated than it is, but it's really just a practice that you can get good at. Once you get good at engaging with people, meeting people is easier and easier. So where do you go to meet people? Personal networking events, mixers and daytime and early week bar events I find are a good place. I say daytime and early week because usually no one's raging at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or on a Tuesday night. Friday, Saturday bar nights, they tend to be more, let's get drunk, let's have a party, let's dance, loud music, hard to talk to people. But lots of bars throw mixers on like a Sunday afternoon or Tuesday night. Munches, if you're interested in kink and BDSM, those usually happen on weekdays too. Online dating is another option you can go for meeting people if you're looking specifically for romantic connections. If you're looking specifically for sexual connections, then Adult Friend Finder, Collar Me, alt.com, all of those things. And if you're looking for meeting people online and potentially friends, potentially activity partners, I totally recommend Meetup.com. It's probably one of the biggest ways I meet people right now. And I like it because I already know I have something in common with that person when we're going in because we've come to the same meetup event. We clearly have at least one thing in common, and that's the event we're there for. Also, good ways to meet people at festivals, at concerts, at camping events, at the beach with your friends. This goes back to that whole just like finding people and engaging with them, right? So walk up to them and say, hey, I'm Heather, I'm new to this camping event and I'm just walking around meeting people. What's your name? That's a really great way to meet people. And then if you're new, sometimes you meet people who are really friendly to new people and introduce you around a bit. Maybe they're new too, and then you've got a buddy for the rest of the event. If you're at a concert, ask what they like about the band. If they're wearing a t-shirt you think is cool, compliment their t-shirt or their nail polish or the really funky pin they have on their bag. Like, look for areas that you could ask open-ended questions about, okay? A good opening line is not, oh my God, your eyes are so beautiful, because that's just really forward and it doesn't really leave the other person anywhere to go, especially if they're not automatically interested in you, especially romantically, just by the sight of you walking up. Remember, sometimes it takes people a minute or two to warm up. So the second part that makes this a little complicated of a question is I'm really wondering what you're not asking. So when you say, what's a good way to meet people? What do you mean when you say meet? Are you asking, how do I find someone to date? Because that requires vulnerability, right? Showing up and building a connection with people so you can form a romantic relationship. If you're asking, how do I ask someone out? Well, that requires courage and resilience and kind of like an ability to spring back from rejection, because how you ask someone out is literally like, hey, I find you neat, I would like to go out with you sometime, how would you feel about that? And sometimes people reject you, which is what makes asking people out so scary. But remember, a rejection of you when you've just met someone isn't really a rejection of your core personage, because they don't know you. It's just they're not interested. It's about them, not about you. If you're asking, how do I find someone to sleep with? That requires being attractive. I'm not going to lie to you, that requires being attractive. Now, it's not just physical. You can be emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or physically attractive. But if you're specifically looking for lovers, the easiest way to get that on is to be an attractive person that has something to offer people and not just chasing people. I also totally recommend checking out my flirting video. I'll link that below. You might find that interesting. And I hope I answered your question. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye.